Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Yes, it has been a while since I decided to do this video, and the thought kept replaying in my mind. We are human, and at times the motivation is just not there. Wow, look at these chubby cheeks, man. I never talk about this on my channel, and I know a lot of persons have their concerns, and some persons will ask certain questions, and at times I might answer, but I'm indirect with my answer. So today I'm going to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. The real reason why I leave Jamaica and I went to Trinidad and Tobago, quote unquote, some people have it to say that I run away. I'm not going to really listen to what people have to say, because people will always talk. Whether you do good, whether you do bad, they will talk. Persons normally, make fun of me, they cheer me and they mock me. When I was doing survival jobs, some persons were like, if you have been to university, you would not be here. I work in the bakery, I work in supermarkets. I do just about anything to get $1. Well, legal, quote unquote. That is the most important part. Anything legal to make money. Sometimes customers, when they don't have their way, they will be naughty. And they will make certain comments like, if you have went to school, you would not be working here. And if you have went to school, you'll be doing a better job. And there are days when I'm in my good mood and I will laugh it off. And there are days when I'm just not in a good mood. They just make my day worse if it is already bad. But at the same time, I try to motivate myself and I try to be positive. When I graduated from university, I spent like almost a year trying to get a job. My last semester in university, I started job hunting, and I did not get any positive feedback. Yes, I get leads, but I did not get any positive feedback in terms of, yes, I get a job offer. After I finished university, I continued the same process. Sending out application, anybody that I know, I would ask them, do you know any company employing? Do you know where I can get a work? Seeking a job was a job for me at that time. You have a newspaper that is for the West, and that newspaper is called the Western Mirror. The parishes in Western Jamaica are St. James, Trelawney, Anova, Westmoreland. And every Friday for almost a year, I bought this Western newspaper. On a Friday, they normally print the classified. There's more opportunities to get job offerings on a Friday. And the Western Mirror is published 3 times per week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. However, on Friday, the newspaper tends to be more informative because there is more information comparing to what I am searching for. Yes, Monday and Wednesday you will see job offers, but more job offers are in the newspaper on a Friday. And then on a Sunday, you have the Jamaican Gleaner and the Jamaican Observer. Those newspapers print every day, but on a Sunday there are more job offers. I tend to work with the Jamaican Gleaner because to me there were more job offers in the Jamaican Gleaner compared to the Jamaican Observer. I kept buying those newspapers every Friday and every Sunday, and every little thing that I see, sometimes I don't even fit the requirement based on what the job is asking for, but I will still apply. Some of them I did not get any call, and some of them, the only reason why they call me is that I have a degree. And I wasn't getting degree pay, I was getting minimum wage pay. And I said, no, I cannot take these jobs because these jobs are like in a different parish. For example, I live in St. James and I might get in a job offer in Westmoreland. I might be getting a job offer in St. Anne's or Chorios. I might get in a job offer in Mandeville. Yes, I am willing to take the job even though it is far away from home. So I told myself that even if I get a job far away from home and the job is paying me as much money to relocate, I would relocate. I don't have a problem. But sometimes, to tell you the truth, I don't even have my fare to travel back and forth to the location. And there are times I have to be borrowing money to get to those locations. And then when I get there and I heard what the salary is, it's like, it's an insult. And then sometimes when these business people or business places call you and they wanted to do an interview with you, a preliminary interview over the phone, once you ask them about salary, most of them get offended and said persons are only interested in salary, they're not interested in the job. But why would somebody be working and you cannot sustain yourself? Why would somebody do that? And then sometimes on these job application, I have to be lying about my address, because if I see a job like in Mandeville and I'm from Montego Bay, I put a Mandeville address because in my mind I'm saying, all right, they said it's a managerial position, they want the person to have a degree, they want the person to have this, so chances are that the salary might be a little better. Nothing like that. When you go, it's a minimum wage job. They just want to get university graduate, but you're not getting university salary. So how are you going to take care of yourself? And you spend so much money to go to university. Worse if you borrow student loan. Going to university is an investment. And then when you finish, the amount of money that you pay for your tuition, sometimes working 2 or 3 years, you still cannot make back that money. Which I understand that the job market is competitive. So then I started to look outside of Jamaica. What I can do, where I can go. And I don't know if it is a blessing in disguise. One day I was on Facebook and I saw one of my former co-workers on Facebook, and I just said to her, hey, what's up? And we started talking, and she said, you know, I'm no longer in Jamaica. And I said, where are you? And she said she's in Trinidad. She asked me if I'm working, and I said, no, I'm not. However, I am actively searching for a job. And she said, girl, why don't you give Trinidad a try? It's much easier to get a job in Trinidad, which is true, because in Trinidad, you don't need a degree to do certain job. In Jamaica, you need CXC and GCE to work in a supermarket, to work in a fast food restaurant. You need to have 3, 4, 5, 6 years experience, and you need to have a degree. Even in KFC, to be a manager in KFC, you need to have a first degree, and you need to have 2, 3 years experience. It is so competitive. And the reason why it is so competitive, because they have more persons than job. So it is like a supply and demand system. The amount of persons that need jobs, you don't have as much jobs for those persons. So it's like they have a system where they start to filter persons. And it's a waste of time, because when you put yourself in those situations, some of those jobs that cannot grow in them. So you'll be in the same position day after day, year after year. There's no growth. So sometimes, even if you really want to take the job just cannot pay you for your standard of living. And I'm not talking about living lavishly. When somebody earning a minimum wage job and they have children, they have rent to pay and other bills and to take care of themselves, it's just not going to work. Unfortunately, a lot of persons, they steal from their employer. It is not right, but it do happen. I know I might sound as if I'm all over the place, but I do apologize. So when I saw my former co-worker on Facebook and we started talking, she said, give it a try. And she said, I am over here working and I didn't have to do all this interview. In Jamaica, you have to do first interview, second interview, third interview. You have to do tests, and depending on the job, if customer service, they're going to quiz you on grammar and speaking ability and a lot of stuff. And it's like sometimes they have 10 different steps, and anywhere you fail, that is where you dropped out. And the person who goes through all the steps, chances are that they are the one who is offered a job. And when you're going through all these steps, you know what these employers do? They're not telling you how much your salary is, you know. They're tentative with that part. So when you go through all that step now and you said, yes, everything okay, I'm now going to get the job. When you hear the salary amount, It's a turn off, and then they tell you, oh, work with what you get until you get what you want. I am here today to tell you that that don't work. When I was in Jamaica, all my experiences in call center. I spent 9 years in call center. And then when I leave call center work and I need other jobs, yes, I do other little jobs on the side, but call center is where I spend most of my time. When I said, all right, I'm tired of call center, I'm tired of talking on the phone every day, I'm just tired of it, I need something different. So when I want to branch out in something different, you know what these employers hit me with? You don't have any experience in this, you don't have any experience in that. Whatever job I apply for, it is going back to service-based, customer service, face-to-face, call center, face-to-face, receptionist, admin, administrative work, the same thing. It is leading right back to there, even though I have a degree in management and marketing. When I see most persons said, listen, I study marketing, I want a job in marketing. I study finance, I want a job in finance. If I did want something else, I wouldn't study this particular area. And I do understand what they're saying, but I could not do like them because I did not have anybody to support me at that time. They have somebody to support them. And most of my classmates, when I talk to them, some of them said they wait like 2 to 3 years before they actually get a job in their field of specialization based on what they study in university. And I could not do that because I did not have any support. Some of them already have financial support from family and their significant other. I did not have that. So it forced me to settle in these mediocre jobs or survival jobs. And because of that, it stifled my growth. So when I want something else, I just could not get something else. Also bear in mind that people have connections in high places. Some of these students, they have family member and friends who is associated with persons in high places, even though they don't have experience. Some of them don't even meet the qualification and they're in certain jobs. I see persons like they just leave high school and they went to university and they spent 4 years in university. So when they finish university, they are around 21, 22, somewhere off there, and they're managers in company. They never work. Never. You and them apply for the same job and then they're telling you, oh, we want somebody with experience. 2-3 weeks down the road, you see one of your classmates in the same position that both of you interviewed for. And I said, but how comes? You know, my mother know the manager. And the manager speak to the CEO or the manager speak to this director. You know, my mother and the CEO were friends and they went to school together and this, that. Connections. Nothing is wrong with it, you know, but that is why they said in life, if you're going to network with people who can help you to climb your way up in life. If they cannot help you, why stick around with them? It's not like you're going to say that you're better than anybody. If you want to be a nurse, a doctor, a policeman, or a soldier, network with those persons to give you more idea of the field that you want to go into. Small mind and small talk is not going to take you anywhere. That is one of the reasons why I had to leave Jamaica and to go somewhere else. The jobs that I did in Trinidad and Tobago, those jobs I would not do them in Jamaica, unfortunately, but it is true. And the reason why I would not do those jobs is because it just don't pay. It don't pay. In Trinidad and Tobago, those jobs don't pay for Trinidadians, but how I look at it, 1,000 TT is almost $20,000 in Jamaica. That is how I look at it. And at one point, I was doing 3 of those jobs. Yes, it was tiring. Yes, I was frustrated, but I still do it because, you know, I have a goal in mind. I have things to do that money requires. I have bills to pay. And then it reached to a point where I just could not do it anymore because I was burnt out. I was tired. I am in Trinidad, and if I'm making like 1,000 TT, working like 6 days a week, yes, that is a lot of work. For 1,000 TT is a lot of work. Sometimes you're doing like 8-9 hours per day, and limited lunch or break time. You just can eat and then go back, eat and go back. You cannot really take your full lunch time because there's so much work. The place is busy. I remember at one point I was going to work from 8 to 4:30, and by 5 o'clock I am at the next job by 5 p.m. and I work from 5 p.m. until 11:30, and by the time I reach home, shower and prepare myself to bed, it's like almost 1 a.m. or a little after 1, and by 5:30 I'm up again. Monday to Friday I work 8 to 4:30, and I didn't work on a Saturday or public holiday. So on a Saturday and public holiday, so Saturday and Sunday and public holiday, then I will do the third job. And the third job is 12 hours per day on a Saturday, and next 12 hours per day on a Sunday. So that's 24 hours for the 2 days. How do I wash? How do I clean? How do I cook? I didn't cook. For how many years in Trinidad I didn't cook because I ensure that I get a restaurant job. And whenever I go to the restaurant, that is when I eat. And whenever I'm leaving, I ensure that my belly is full. And sometimes if they have leftovers, food that don't sell, they normally would throw it away. I normally say give it to the homeless, but they said no, don't give it to them, because when you start feeding them, then they will always, come to your business place and then be a nuisance. They will become a problem for the business and for the customers, because once they know that they can come here and get food, they will always come. When those leftovers don't sell, I will normally take it home and I will eat it whenever I can, if I feel like, or give it to other persons, because I was living in an apartment with other Jamaicans and sometimes they want something to eat too, so I will take it home for them. So the main reason why I left Jamaica is because I could not get a job. I tried and I tried and I tried. When I told my family that I was, going to Trinidad, the response wasn't great. It wasn't positive, and I do understand that they have their concern. I had my concern too because it was my first time traveling. Yes, I was a little bit skeptic, I was scared, but I just did not show it. But in my back of my mind, I was like overthinking a lot of stuff, and I'm telling you guys, everything that I can think of went wrong. Everything. When I hit Trinidad, in less than a week I was so depressed. Well, not less than a week, like the day after I was so depressed. And then within a week my depression got worse. And then everything started to fall apart, and I could not say anything because I was warned. I was warned. Just like me right now here in China. I was warned about China too, but knowing me and telling myself I'm big and making my own decision, I come just the same, and all the bad stuff happened. But I just tell myself that sometimes when you're going through a little transition phase, it is like that. Things will happen, and things did happen. Yes, you're going to feel bad, but eventually, just like everything else, give it time and you will heal yourself. And I'm telling you guys, it wasn't an easy process, it wasn't an easy road, but each day get better and better and better. And I'm just praying and hoping to God that whatever I'm working towards, whatever I want to achieve, I will achieve it. Each time I travel and things happen, I'm learning more and more and more from my experience. And that is why I said I will never, it's not like I'm being rude, that is why I said I will never take experience from somebody who has never been on my journey, never been in my shoes, never experienced the things that I'm going through. Because what are you going to tell me? You're going to tell me things based on what you assume, based on what you read, based on what somebody tell you, which is totally different compared to when you experience something directly for yourself. Yes, I did make that comment, but it is not like I'm disrespecting anybody. You get up every day, you have your needs, you have your wants, and you just keep on going to interviews after interviews. At one point, people even start to blame me that I am not doing well on these interviews, and because I'm not doing well, that is why I'm not being offered a position. Sometimes when I turn up to job interviews and when I see a lot of persons there, and I said, okay, I didn't know that this is a job fair, because the amount of persons there, you're going to think that it is a job fair. I would ask the interviewer, how many persons do you want for this position? Sometimes they said 2, sometimes they said 3. And then when you look, it's like 20 persons there, 30 persons there, and they only want 2 or 3 persons. So they're going to go through a lot of filtering and filtering and filtering. And then they choose who they want to choose, or sometimes they already have their persons. But depending on the business, quote unquote, they said ethical practice, they have to advertise the position and they will do their interview. But in the end, they already have their persons. But because of company policy, they still have to advertise and do their interviews. And at that time, I was feeling so down, I was feeling depressed. And then you're borrowing money to go on these interviews and you're not working. Some persons, they really have to pay them back their money because you go to them and you told them that you're borrowing. While some will understand the situation and said, it is okay. And it reached the point and I said, I am tired of this, I'm tired of it, I'm not going to do this anymore. I am looking outside of Jamaica. Some persons say, why Trinidad? Why not try America? Why not try Canada? Why not try one of those first world countries? I did not have the money. I did not have the money to try first world country. Trinidad and Tobago is like 2 hours away from Jamaica. Going to a first world country where I don't know anybody, it would be very hard for me to survive. When I went to Trinidad, apart from my former co-worker, I didn't know anybody else. Trinidad and Jamaican culture is very similar. It's easy for me to adapt. Imagine going to a first world country with no money, you don't know anybody, and with climate change, when it is winter, how would I survive? In the Caribbean, and if I don't have any money to pay any rent and I meet an ex-Jamaican or somebody will feel sorry for me and I say, can I stay with you for 2 or 3 days? Which is what really happened. Yeah, depression killed people. I could almost lose my life because I was so depressed. All the Facebook groups that you could think of about searching for a job offers, all of them I joined. At the time I was only on Facebook. All the job groups, searching for a job, tips on how to get a job, jobs in Jamaica, jobs in like different parishes, living helper job. Imagine you have a degree and you want to do a living helper job. I am not looking down on any job, but I am just saying at the time I don't have any money. I had to take care of myself. I said anything will do, anything. I'm just not going to go into anything illegal or undesirable or unethical. And I joined so many recruiting companies. Those are another scam. You know how much money I pay companies to get jobs for me, because they're like, oh, a lot of companies, they have vacancies but they don't advertise it. Just like in Trinidad, I said anything that I get I will do. It's the same thing in Jamaica. At one point I said anything that I get I will do. In the end, all I got was call center. So I was working in the call center, but I was doing sales, and I am not good at sales. And if you're not making sales, then you're going to go home. Like every week, the employing persons, every week there's a different batch in training. As Jamaicans would say, a sudden employ, a sudden fire. A sudden employ, a sudden fire. So persons are there to fill the gap. Sometimes they have a quota that you have to meet, maybe for the week or for the month, and if you don't make your quota, they will put you in coaching and they will coach you how to sell. Not everybody is good at sales. I am not good at sales to tell the lie and to convince people otherwise. And sometimes when I do these things, I feel so bad. These are old persons, they tell you that they're on social security and you convince them to buy something that they don't really need. When I started, they told me that my job is customer service / sales. So I was like, I'm not good at sales. And they said, no, it's easy sales. Because sometimes, a customer will call in and they said they call to pay their bill, and at the same time, they want to upgrade their service. So that is a sales. But that wasn't true. When I started working, the floor manager told us that once somebody called, to pay their bills. We have all their information on the system. You're going to analyze their service, and once you can upsell, you upsell. That is where the company make most money, by upselling. Some of these persons are old people. They will tell you like, I live alone, I'm just calling to pay my bill, I am on social security. And some of them are even lonely too. They will call and tell all type of story about the cat and about the dog. Once you hear that, you know that they don't want a high-speed internet. They don't want any full movie package. They will tell you, I just check my email. That is what I do with the internet. And then you convince them and you tell them about sale and you tell them about promotion and whatever. But when that promotion finish, they're right back at square one. They have to pay the bill in full. I didn't do well in sales, and I said no, I cannot continue in this job, because I know that one day I will be next. I'll be going through that door, because I wasn't meeting any quota. I think I only met the quota like twice. I was there for like maybe 2 months or so. I only met the quota like twice. Whenever I don't make it, they're in your skin like ticks, plague, parasite. Don't let the day finish and I don't get X amount of sale. Don't let the week finish and you don't eat your quota. And the job is not only to eat the quota, you have to eat and exceed it. And then when I thought about everything that my ex-employee said, I said, you know what, I'm going to Trinidad. My life is not easy like A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. A lot of persons see me and think that, oh, you know, she don't talk much, she don't socialize much, she don't this, she don't that, she have everything going on. I wish. Sometimes I see some persons looking well, doing well, and you think that everything is going on for them. Hell no. A lot of persons are battling a lot of stress, a lot of disappointment, a lot of sadness. They just make a brave face, get their daily life going. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I talk too much. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And tell a friend to tell a friend to watch this video. Thank you.